Welcome to the Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. I am joined by my co-host, Fresh and Deezy, on this Friday night live stream. We're switching it up a little bit because you guys know it's a new year. It's a fresh beginning. All right. You know what I'm saying?
So we're going to fuck with your heads for 1 week and then we'll go back to the regular schedule again next week.
Exactly like
we'll
all
see you again in like 3
resolutions.
days.
Yeah. You'll work out once or twice and then get back to the same old shit, eating junk food, getting fat, and whatever. I don't know. Hopefully not. But yeah, Tuesday night we dropped the Disco Cowboy interview. I hope you all checked that out. That was one of my favorite interviews of the last year. Really enjoyed that one. I'm actually, I didn't even thought about this. Let's start with you, Fresh. Is there a particular moment or interview from 2025 that stays with you, that you enjoyed the most?
My favorite 2 interviews, I have to say, is probably Nick and Big John Steele.
Those were good, man. I enjoyed those as well. What about you, Deezy? Anything stick out to you about last year's? We did we did a whole year's worth of shows, man.
I mean, man, there were a lot of good interviews that we did. John Steele was really cool. I think that Larry was pretty cool.
Yeah, Larry Taunton.
Throwback. Larry was a cool interview for him to take his time to come on and to spend that time from traveling and doing all kinds of crazy shit. He popped onto our show to talk to us. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, man, that was a great interview. Got to shout out all the MOA guys, man. We had a whole year's worth of MOA guys on the show, giving that priceless advice to all the young gentlemen out there, all the single young men. But no, man, listen, I thought last year was great. I'm glad we got through a year, man. Can you believe that? Whole year of the Goat Show.
We're about to hit 2 years. We're talking
about to hit 2 years. So, and still going strong. Better than ever.
Bro, they're excited for the product, bro. They're excited. I've been giving word to some friends today in the break room. Someone was at my friend Cole at work was like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, are you gonna go live? Did you hear about what we're talking about tonight?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Yeah, well, actually, we're gonna talk about it tonight. I know we are." And he's like, "Oh, what time are you going live?" So maybe he'll pop on, and other people are interested, and people are really interested in other people's passions. If you're like really involved and you're really into it, then people get interested,
People love a trier, man.
Yeah, man. People really love leering about other people, if you know what I mean.
I love leering.
I can't leer enough, bro. I hope I do enough leering that I make a couple Billy.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, well, before we get into all this, which, I mean, if you haven't heard about this yet, I don't know what's going on in your world. Maybe you're living out in the forest or something, skiing down the Himalayas or something. But before we do, New Year's Eve. So, Disco Cowboy came on the show. We dropped it right beforehand. That's what I did on New Year's Eve. I went to Decca, the local super club down here in Jax Vegas. And it was great, man. He pulled all the stops out. He wasn't lying, dude. There was pyro. There were disco dancing ladies with mirror ball costumes. He had this freaking outfit that was just like space age, disco alien or something, man. It was awesome.
I seen some of the videos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They pulled it off, man. They had confetti and he was playing the hits. He was playing, disco house versions of, which I thought, which normally I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of corny, but these were really good mixes that he picked out. They were dope. So had a lot of fun with that, and had a couple of friends over here beforehand and afterward. Shout out Ken, who's been on the show before. He was teaching us all how to DJ. Had a little controller action. He was showing us how to do that shit. Play tech house, even though he's a techno guy, hardcore techno, like 140 BPM per hour. 140 BPM per minute.
BPM per hour.
Damn, that's so slow.
Like, we're all on ketamine.
Beat per minute per hour.
No. No. I wasn't on anything, but I was definitely drinking a lot of coffee that day, so I was up. I was up late. What about you guys? You do anything exciting for MYE?
Watched Stranger Things.
Oh man, we didn't even think to talk about this.
My wife wants to rewatch some of the old stuff, and
that's what we did. We started at season 1. We're not even into season 5 yet. So.
Oh, okay. Can't help it, but I've been hearing some things on Twitter about season 5. You know, and I think it.
But like okay, so this is what I do want to say. We'll discuss like what actually happens, but from like pop culture and learning like kind of what happens and like that, they make a really big deal about Will being gay.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, in season 1, episode 1, his mother says that his father used to call him queer. Like, bro, we didn't need 5 seasons to know that the gay kid was gay, bro. Like,
okay, you know what? I'll tell you what, because I kind of was like, I watched it. You were saying, Deezy. I tried to watch the first 2 episodes of the new season. I was like, dude, I'm totally lost. I do not remember pretty much anything that's happened. So I feel like maybe I'll rewatch, maybe not from the beginning, but I think I'll rewatch the last season this week, and then we'll talk about it.
Bro, it's pretty quick. You can just watch it all. Trust me.
Okay. I was each episode's like an hour or something, right? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. At least I'll watch the previous season, hopefully catch up with that, and then we'll get into all that. But all I gotta say is, man, that's not the 80s I remember, or the 90s that I remember. You didn't say shit about nothing back then, man. You would get run out of town. So, you know, I know there's a little retconning, you know, but anyway. All right, well, let's get into some of the stuff that happened. And I'm kind of glad, I'll say this, I'm kind of glad we are doing this on a Friday and we waited 2 or 3 days, because there's some different things that are popping up now that maybe it's kind of changing my view of this whole Somaliland Learing Center controversy in Minnesota. So for anybody out there who literally does not go on social media at all, does not watch any news, living in a hole under a rock, these Somalians, man, I'm going to tell you this much. They got us Jeters beat, bro. I thought we were King Scammer up in here.
You're close.
Bro, I don't want to hear nothing about us Browns.
I'm the scammer now.
The scammers, yeah. No more. All right, I don't want to hear about that. They have taken the crown. We couldn't have dreamed of a scam this dope, dude. You got to give these guys credit. I almost feel like they should keep the money. Game is game, goats are goats. All right, these be the goat scammers, man. They figured this shit out. I'm jealous, actually. Fuck. I thought we Indians had something to be proud of, something that we were the best at. It's not the case. It's not the case, man. We're behind. We need to figure it out. We need to catch up.
They're caught, bro. They're caught. They're not good at it.
Yeah, they got busted. Part of me wants to know though, like,
wait, hold on a sec. Are you telling me that to be a gifted scammer, you have to not get caught?
Obviously,
correct.
If you don't get away with it, then yeah.
But if
you don't get away with it, how is it a good
scammer anymore? You're a felon. You're a prisoner. That's what you are.
But isn't it like that old saying, like if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it? You know what I'm saying? If you be scamming out here and nobody discovers it, like,
yeah, good scammers are not. A good scammer is a one that you don't know is a scammer.
Okay, I guess that's legit. I'm just saying.
If you hear about them, that means they're not good scammers.
But hold on a second.
Unless you hear about the myth, right? Like you only hear about it in the wind. You never actually hear about who the person is. You're just like, oh, this place keeps getting hit for like $50 million, $75 million, but we never know who's got the money. Like that guy would be a really infamous scammer, right?
Let let me
See,
just
the problem is they didn't know when to stop, bro. If they really funneled that much money out, then like they should have been like, we're closing these centers down. Let's fucking let's figure something else out.
This may be semantics, right? But to me, there's a difference between scamming and robbing. Okay. Robbing is like that, what you're talking about, where you get away with it and all that shit. To me, that's robbing. You know what I'm saying? Scamming, there's a little bit of like absurdity to scamming. It's like there's a little bit of a fun and a humor to scamming. Like when you say somebody's scamming you, it's almost like you expect a certain amount of absurdity in this. Like when we Indians be scamming on these calls, right? You kind of know, or these Nigerians, right? Like this shit's scammy, but some people fall for the scam. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it. You know what I'm saying? It's a different. I feel like there's something different with scamming compared to just straight up thievery and robbery. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it's still theft. I don't think absurdity is a necessity for scam. I think that it's just and I mean this with all due respect. I just think that you guys are kind of an absurd people when you do things, right? Like, and so like when you try to scam somebody, you go over the top because you're also like absurd in your guiltiness.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. I mean, do whites be scamming? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody scams, bro.
Everybody scams. Scamming is just you don't have to have an absurd
like the
moment.
welfare scam, like the scam on the welfare system. That's a heavy like redneck and like inner city scam. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's the rednecks and the inner city people, like regardless of race, rinse the welfare state, right?
Right. Okay, so it's not an ethnic thing. Anybody?
Not necessarily. Every ethnicity has scammers, right? Like,
sure, yeah, okay, all right.
I mean, look at our politicians, bro. They're fucking scammers too, by definition. Fucking goddamn.
Yeah. Well, okay, yes. Well, okay, so let's talk about this. So, from what I understand, the scam is the state of Minnesota has a policy where if you open up, I guess, a child care center, then you can get tax exempt or some shit like that. Like, what exactly was the scam of this whole deal? Did they actually get funds?
They got funding.
I think they actually got funding for like state funding, federal funding because of childcare.
Right. Each person, so they would have a child learning center, daycare, and they would say this daycare has 90 kids in it. You know, we got all these Somali, you know, let's just call it what it is. Like we got these Somali women, they're Muslim. These guys got 4 wives each. They got 10 kids each, and then
shit ton of kids. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And then for each child, you get a certain amount of money from the state for that center to operate. And then I think there's some other things going on too. There's like some other business types that you can do where you also get funding. And apparently they just haven't been. Well, this is a question. I guess I want to go to you, Deezy. Do you think that the state is in on it and that they're funneling money out of these places, or do you feel that this is just normal ass government?
I think the local governments have to be in on it, bro. How do they let that much fucking money go through like that? And there's not any kind of due diligence at all. Nobody's checking on these child care centers every so often. There's nothing. They're just giving money away like that.
I mean, I'm envious, dudes. What are we doing on the Goat Show? A podcast?
Yeah, you guys start a child care center, they're gonna put you on a most wanted list, bro. Careful, you're gonna end up on
the Goat Learing Center coming next week, bro. Fuck you talking about? I'm already on every list anyway. Just make the Learing Center.
Hell yeah, man! It'll be online. It'll be like the dude. That's
I'm opening it as we speak, boys.
The Learing Center.
Dude, my Indian scam. My Indian scam child care. All right, I'm still on the
online child care, bro. Yes. We will watch your kid via.
Dude, how scalable is that? You could scale it to fucking 1 million kids. And then we can make a billion real quick.
We'll have our AI watch your kids, B.
Wild, bro.
We took that fucking shit back. All right. I'm not even it's whites and Indians working together. That's what we see. See what we can accomplish.
Real Learing centers, bish.
Somebody's got to do a SOAR video for like online Learing centers. Unlimited kids. Holy crap. They don't even, because they don't check anything. They don't check. Apparently, okay, so there's two sides of the story. Just seems to be two sides. All right. And that's why we waited 3 days to talk about this. You got to wait at least 48 hours on some of this stuff. So the first side of the story is the Nick Shirley side of the story. So the way this all cracked wide open is the young homie out in these streets, Nick Shirley, Christian white boy. All right. He gets a tip from this dude, this older dude in Minneapolis, I guess. And he's showing him paperwork. He's saying that these things don't have anything. They go out on these streets in December 16th, exactly is what he said. And they start hunting for kids. And they ain't seeing no kids. They're seeing Learing centers. So the Learing center comes from the sign that's supposed to say learning center, but instead they forgot the N. So that's
quality Learing center.
I mean, that's almost like, I don't know if I love that or am mad about that. I mean, just think about it. It's like, this is why I said the thing before about the scam. I feel like scams got to be a little
because it's so absurd. It's like,
just in your face. Like, how could you not? You got to respect it, dude.
Bro, because you want to know something. There's a part of this, and like, again, I mean this with the utmost respect. Like, there's a part of this that's been happening forever, bro. Immigrants been misspelling words on signs since immigrants been making signs.
Right.
Like, it's just a thing that happens, bro. You go to Chinatown, there's 17, there's a Learing center, a Leaning center. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? There's all kind, bro. It just is what it is. On purpose, by accident. Like,
I mean, that's true. But I mean, then again,
this brings the other side of it for me, right? Is like, do I think that this is a crazy scam? Absolutely. Do I think, like, on a scale of scams, it's pretty big? Okay, yeah, maybe even kind of. But like, who really gives a fuck? Like, who actually gives a fuck? Like, why are we being told about the Somali Learing centers right now? That's the bigger thing to me.
Okay. So
like, why are we talking about this?
Okay, well, let's get to that in a moment. But before we do, I want to ask you guys about. Okay, so a couple of things are happening as a result of this. Okay, so the first thing is that people are saying that there were actually kids there. Shirley is a fraud. He showed up during break, which is kind of, it's a Christmas break. He didn't show up during, September. He showed up in December. So there's something to think about there. And they're saying that there is camera footage. There is a news report saying that they show camera footage of people bringing their kids to the Learing centers. And then it's not a lot of kids, like 1 or 2 kids here and there. But, they're saying that it's all a big misunderstanding. They're not all scamming. It's just timing. They said that he came at a time.
Bro, buddy saying that from inside a brand new Benz is just not hitting for me, babe. You're scamming, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, did
you see someone broke into one of these places and stole all their documents and their checkbook?
Dog, they said they stole the shit from the outside, and it looks like that shit was attacked from the inside. These guys are all liars, bro.
Bro, think that everybody's who's going in and stealing the documents of a childcare center?
Okay,
another Abdul that wants to save it, bro.
I mean, here's another question. Okay, should you get any points for executing the scam on the government, not on people? I don't believe in that. Like, if you steal from me or steal from the normal guy in the street, no, that's
like
wrong.
You're saying, like, the money gone, right? Like, so
they cheated.
They're caught, like, they go to jail, whatever happens. But like, they got money.
Well, no. What I mean is like, well, kind of. What I mean is, so for instance, there's a lot of people out here who are like, look, these rich billionaires are evil. They know how to make it so that they can set up their finances so that they never have to pay taxes. You know, they own all these homes and art and it's depreciating value, and they pay zero taxes, you know? And I'm kind of like, all right, what's the difference between that, which is like being what we would say being smart so that you don't have to pay this fucked up government, shitty government, 50% of your money. And the Somalians
ain't no kids. Bro, there's not like $200 million worth of kids, bro. It's the problem. That's the problem. Like these fucking rich people, like the Elons and the whatever, they gotta have the shit to have this tax exemption. Like, for example, Elon has to produce product that helps the economy, or he doesn't get the exemption. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
okay,
these people don't have the kids at the place. If you have the kids at the place and you're taking the extra off the top and making the money, okay. You don't even have the kids at the place. There's not even kids. There's 5 kids between 8 Learing centers. Come on, bro. Same 5 kids going to all 8 Learing centers just to get hundreds of millions. No,
right. The amount of money they scammed out of this shit. There should be like these Learing centers should be like kids pouring out of the windows. Instead, the windows are painted black and there's nobody there.
Bro, like you're telling me, like when we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, like all these kids should have had personal private chefs, each individual kid. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
They should have been driving their own Benzes there.
Right.
The kid.
Yeah.
In a Benz with a driver, not with a mom. The mom has another Benz with a driver. The mom will show up separately, same place. Like, what are we talking about? Hundreds of millions?
Hundreds of millions.
Wow.
But my question is, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's true. Because I mean, there's one video, I forget who it was. It's this dude. He's just driving his car. He's like, look at all these freaking nice cars. These are all like small immigrants in their vehicles. So I don't know.
Bro, and I'm like, listen, I'm not saying people can't work hard and have things. It's not what I'm saying, right? I'm saying scamming to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, where like now you're coming in and then you're just like taking tax money to drive Benzes and shit is crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. Like, I don't think anybody should be doing that.
Yeah. Ryan, what's up in the chat? Good to see you. Billions, he's saying. $18 billion is what he's saying. Sorry, what are you saying, Deezy?
I said, so are we paying our taxes? That's the question.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Oh, shit, Ryan, I didn't even see you were here this whole time. What's up, Ryan?
What's up, G?
Homie.
Nice. All right,
yeah,
so this is obviously created a lot of anger in the people of this country. Us hard-working patriots, paying our taxes diligently, trying to keep the system afloat.
Like, bro, I'm not even against you coming. Like, you got a little welfare check that you like $700 a month. Like, it's like, you know, okay, you're not really living. Like, if you're living on a regular welfare check that a regular American is living off of, like, you're not like living high on the hog, B. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're barely surviving. But like, buddy, billions of dollars?
Billions, man.
With a B?
And it's Minnesotans and Americans paying that. So yeah, I mean, people are pissed. And then we see some other things, which we'll get into in a second. Maybe some wars we don't really want. We see some, you know, some stimmy checks went out before. We just see constantly our government is just being crazy. They did, you know, Doge tried to go in there and do, you know, clean house. Not a single fucking person voted for that thing, except for like one person, I think. You know, so obviously Americans are mad, and we start asking these questions. We go, these motherfuckers, and then here's the other thing. A lot of these Somalians, some of them aren't even, I think some of them aren't even citizens, right? Like, or they're like, I don't know. There's something
they're
like
refugees.
They're like refugees. So the people who are benefiting, they may be, but like the people that are going to these centers and all this shit, like that community, a lot of people in that community are not actually citizens of this country.
Yeah, no, they just use the Learing Center, and they don't even use it. There's 5 people that go to all 8 Learing centers.
Right.
It's It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Okay, so this begs the question: what Deezy brought up, MAGA influencers out here saying we're gonna tax strike. We ain't gonna pay this year. We done paying taxes. So my question to you guys, I'll go to you, Deezy. You paying these taxes this year or not?
You guys better stand up. I'm gonna say this, bro. Before you guys both answer, you guys better stand up. You remember the founding fathers and why they fought, bro. Because of a 3% tax, brother. A 3% tax. I just don't want to hear it no more, bro.
I've been exempt this whole the whole 2025 already. I was doing it before it was cool.
I mean, okay. Let's talk about this. Believe me, you guys know me. I don't want to pay government nothing for nothing. I want everything privatized.
They already showed their shit with money.
Okay, the only way this is going to work, this tax strike thing, it's like, well, here's the thing about the founding fathers, right? What did Ben Franklin say? He said, surely we will all hang together or we will hang separately. In other words, he was telling all those other motherfuckers out there, he was like, listen, if we're going to fucking rebel against the British and do this shit, we all have to be willing to die. We cannot have one straggler here who at the last minute, tucks his tail and runs and does whatever. If that happens, we will all surely hang separately. So that's the thing, though. If I had the confidence that the American people, even if it's like, because they keep saying, they're like, oh, they can't go after all of us. I'm like, yeah, they can, motherfucker. You don't think they got AI? What do you think Palantir is? You don't think they're gonna not Palantir every motherfucker if you go on tax strike? And they may not get you this year or the year after or the year after year, but they'll get you eventually. They'll figure out a way. They'll go right into your bank account and snatch that shit up because everything's electronic now. It's not like back in the day. All right. If you got money in the bank and you're not paying taxes, they'll just go in and steal that shit. They will snatch that shit. You won't even know what happened.
Yeah, but they would have to, before they do that, they would have to prove that I owe that tax money.
Okay, so you're saying that they would follow the proper legal channels and conduct an investigation.
AI that shit, bro. Are you sick?
I think we've lost. I think at this point, Palantir.
It's up. The jig is up. The fuck do you actually think you're gonna do? If you had it and you spent it, they know about it. Period.
Right.
Period. And bro, like in cash too. Don't think, oh yeah, I had cash. No, bro, they know. If you spent it, they know.
So okay, so the question is enforcement, right? So I know what you're saying, Deezy. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with what you're saying because it takes a lot of resources and competence to go after. Like let's say for the sake of argument, it was like, let's say it was everybody who pays taxes. I think it's like 150 million people in America at least pay taxes every year. So they would have to open 150 million investigations that you committed taxes. Don't have that is true. They don't have the resources. They don't have 150. Let's say like per person. How many? No, you need more than one per person to enforce it, right? Like if someone comes to my house and I go, and I'm a peaceful man, and I just go, hey, IRS guy, I'm just not gonna pay this shit. And if I stick with it, at some point they're gonna penalize you. And then if you stop,
they just put your banking privileges down. They take the money and that's it. Bye. And they stop your ability to make money. Like look at bro. If you think I'm joking, look at Nick Fuentes. Look at Nick Fuentes, bro. He hasn't been able to actually make and spend his own money.
Right. You're gonna have to transact. Hey, what's up, Dan?
Just saying hi to Daniel because he said yo,
bro. Daniel, man, Ryan, people out there, comment. You strike. Actually, don't do that. Because Palantir, get your ass. If you say you're not gonna listen,
bro, just shh.
Listen, let me
Say, let us hang ourselves, bro.
Yeah, don't make yourself look like an agent, bro. Who out there is not paying their taxes this year?
Dude, that's what I think these influencers
Raise
are
your
kind of doing.
hand.
These influencers are feds, bro. There's no fucking way. Don't pay our taxes. Listen, you're a tax slave, whether you like it or not, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Well, don't also push pay your taxes because that's a little fed too. Like, just do whatever you're already gonna do. Don't listen to us, bro. We're retards.
Y'all do you, all right? I'm just saying right now, for the record, I'm gonna pay my taxes directly to Israel. I'm paying my taxes directly to where they need to go. All right. Love my friends across the sea. All right. I'm paying it directly where it needs to go so we can fight these wars.
This guy said, Netanyahu, send me the routing number.
Oh, right.
You're crazy.
Or I'll send
bro.
you mine and you send me the script. My G was good.
You want the 7,000 shekels, huh?
Yeah,
I want whatever Nick Shirley's getting.
70 million shekels.
All right, so we agree that we're all not gonna. We all are taxes. We'll just put that. We'll just,
Yeah,
we'll just-
what?
We're all gonna pay our
Why are
taxes.
you back on
We're all gonna
taxes,
pay our
bro?
taxes. We're gonna be diligent. We're gonna be diligent slaves of the state, and we're going to pay our taxes exactly how we're
I don't
supposed
know,
to.
bro. Listen, I don't know. We'll see what Jesus tells me to do.
Oh no.
Jesus said, "Pay your taxes, man." He didn't tell them the people not to pay the Romans.
He said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Shut up. Just shut up, bro.
But he didn't say to question, he didn't say not to question what isn't Caesar's. And then that is where
I'm sure the IRS respects technicalities. Tell Erwin Schiff that.
I'm smacking everybody, man.
All right, so we got these influencers psyoping us into not paying taxes, getting our names on the Palantir list, fucking our lives up. So don't do it, people. All right. But then we got a whole other angle that came out today. You always got to wait 48 hours before you get in this shit. People saying surely a psyop. Let's talk about
Bro, there's like surely a triple psyop.
How is he a psyop? Tell me.
Okay, so first of all, definite Israeli plant. Like, definitely Israeli plant. Second of all, they're trying to replace Nick Fuentes with Nick Shirley. Third of all, I mean, he's a plant because why the fuck do we even give a fuck about what this guy's talking about at a time like this when we're supposed to be caring about certain files? Like, leave this shit to the police and bureaus that need to take care of it. We want to see the fucking files, you goofies.
All right. So, all right, let's go one by one. Well, let's go start with the last one first. Well, no, let's start with the first one. So, yes, the first one, there are pictures of Shirley. So a couple of things. There are pictures of him at these like round table things hosted by Israel special interest groups meeting with Netanyahu. Like, that's public record.
He's conducted interviews in Israel.
He's very, very Israel friendly, it appears. Let's just say that. Okay. So there's that. Second thing is, go to the last one. Did you know that he was the last interview with Charlie Kirk? The day that Charlie got shot, an hour before, he was the last interview. And then he got on a plane out of there.
What?
He wasn't on stage with Charlie. He's supposed to be on stage with Charlie. He got on a plane or something and left that shit. Let's see what this man has to say, this gentleman.
One of the most viral stories of 2025 about the Somali daycare fraud in Minnesota ends up being a complete psyop. Because evidently, Israeli reporters are now asserting that Mossad and Israeli intelligence, not U.S. authorities, were responsible for exposing the Somalian-ran Minnesota fraud operations.
How is the Israeli Mossad related to the recent corruption that was discovered in Minnesota? You're not going to believe it, but there actually is a substantial connection, and it runs through the Israeli Prime Minister office. I'll start from the end. Israel just established relationships with Somaliland, which is not Somalia.
And what does that mean? Let's take a listen.
Does anyone know what Somaliland is, really? Said U.S. President Donald Trump after Israel became the first country in the world to recognize the self-proclaimed republic in Eastern Africa. Somaliland is a small territory in the Horn of Africa that broke off from Somalia in 1991. So why does Somaliland even matter? It sits on the Gulf of Aden, one of the world's most important shipping routes. There's also a Gaza-related angle. Earlier this year, it was reported that the U.S. and Israel have explored Somaliland as a potential destination for displaced Palestinians from Gaza.
And bingo, that is why we've been hearing so much about Somalian fraud in Minnesota, because it had already been reported weeks before by the U.S. attorney that fraud in Minnesota exceeded $9 billion. $9 billion, that's a whole lot of fraud compared to, what was it? Nick Shirley talked about $110 million, $9 billion. We're talking about a small fraction, but focusing specifically on the Somali community. And then you have the amplification of this story, which isn't necessarily organic, right? You have people like Elon Musk, Vice President J.D. Vance, Attorney General Pam Bondi, all amplifying this story. I'm not discounting that the fraud exists within the Somali community, but is the focus, is the amplification making us feel a certain way, or trying to make us feel a certain way about the Somali community? That's the question. Now, according to Somali intelligence, Somaliland has accepted 3 Israeli conditions in exchange for Israeli recognition. One is the resettlement of Palestinians. 2, the establishment of an Israeli military base on the coast of the Gulf of Aden, and Somaliland joining the Abraham Accords. Well, isn't that a lovely and convenient development for the state of Israel, that they get somewhere to dump the Palestinians? They also gain a critical and strategic military base, and they create an ally in the region that did not exist before. So maybe they get a resident independent journalist who maybe isn't so independent, if you read what this story is all about, to do a story that says Somalians bad.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let's go to the last thing you brought up, Fresh. Last Friday, literally a week ago, Massey out here being like, "Where are the files, bitch? Give us those files, Pam Bondi."
And then we got some files
that were accidentally not redacted because they fucking just covered it with black highlighter, but you could still get the data out of the file.
I mean, if that were me, if I'm working at Illuminati Inc., the ad agency, you know, Illuminati Inc.'s ad agency, the greatest ad agency in the world, by the way. I want to know who these guys are. They're incredible. They're incredible. They're better than Gary Vee, right? And I'm going, we got a problem here. All right, we got to do something, because after Christmas, motherfuckers gonna be back on this Epstein tip. We got to do something. Man, they killed 20 birds with one stone with this op, man. Because you're right. How did this story even get out in the first place? I mean, of all the people out on the street.
Yeah. The only people that gave a shit were Nick Shirley, who just so happens to be connected to Israel. Like, bro, it's weird.
It's weird connects. And there's a lot of, I mean, I'll tell you this. There's a lot of, I follow some of these guys on YouTube. There's a lot of guys on YouTube out going out there and doing great work. Like Andrew Cowan is amazing. Like that guy does some of the best reporting. In general, he just does some of the best reporting on all kinds of stuff. Or Callaghan, I can't forget his name, but Channel 5 News on YouTube is incredible. I've never seen his stories take off like this story took off.
Is that just because America's more racist now than it's been in a long time?
I mean, that may be. There's an element of that.
America is kind of enjoying sensationalized race right now, right?
I think that has nothing to do with race. I think that people are fucking pissed off and struggling, and to learn that people are defrauding the U.S. government, where we put our trust in to spend our money and do things correctly, is fucking up like they always do. But if it were us on the other end, they're going to be auditing the fucking $40,000 a year worker, or you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they don't have any fucking due diligence or do any kind of covering their own ass. But American citizens are expected to fucking follow the letter of the law, or
yeah,
be,
but I think this just kind of speaks to the same shit that it always speaks to with immigration, right? It's about assimilation and the ability to control and police the population of people you bring in, right? And I don't think that any country in the modern world brings in the amount of people that they can police and assimilate, right? So like right now, when there's a struggle with policing your citizens, and then you're bringing in an abnormal amount of people, then you don't really have the ability to assimilate them and then police them properly. So teach them what it is that they can and can't do, and then police the ability to do that. And then again, they just end up taking advantage of these systems that probably were put in place with like to be beneficial.
I mean, I agree with both of you. I think three things could be true at the same time, right? I think the first thing can be true that, hey, like this is a hot button story because people are feeling the pinch in their finances, and it seems like we're on an economic decline, even though they're trying to convince us everything's hunky dory, right? And so yeah, it is a supercharged thing. It's one of those things where this is the kind of story that you put it out there, it hits like all those marks. It hits the sensitivity around non-assimilation immigration that you're talking about. It hits the sensitivity around
Race.
Yeah, there's a racial element to it. I would say it's more than race, though. I think what it hits the sensitivity on is Muslims in America. You know, there's still a lot of Islamophobia, and I'm not saying it's unjustified or not or whatever. I'm just saying that is a hot button, one of those hot button things. So you hit that, the financial thing, taxes, all this stuff, and it's just like boom, perfect little powder keg to just light up, so that you can distract everybody from the Epstein files.
I agree.
Those Epstein files can just go right into the trash. We're over it. The cycle is done.
I agree.
Next.
Yeah, what's up, Cam?
What's up,
Yeah,
Cam?
I agree, bro. I agree. Because look, all it takes is a minute, right? Like the general public is really dumb. I mean, that with all due respect, like attention span of a fucking fly. So all you got to do is just distract them for like 30 seconds, and then yeah, exactly. They made them this way. So you distract them for 30 seconds and then they forgot. And then they need people like us to be like, yo, you guys forgot about the Epstein files?
Right. But you know what? So I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to say who. There's someone I was talking to. And she or he, I'm not going to say the gender. This is before all the Somali stuff happened. You know, they were on the Trump train. Big on the Trump train. Not to say that we weren't, but I'm just saying like big time. Like Trump can do no wrong. And I was like, all right, I'm going to test the waters on this. And I asked like, well, you know, how do you feel about these Epstein files and what's going on? Straight up told me, I don't really give a shit about the Epstein files.
What? It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
People just don't give a fuck.
Oh, the frog has been boiled, I think. We now accept.
It is.
I mean, I don't think we accept, but I think we're now just like, all right, whatever. Politicians are pedophiles. Whatever. You know, what does that have to do with me being able to pay for, you know, whatever groceries
or whatever the fuck? Yeah, because that's the thing is people right now can't eat, so they're just like, what do I really care about? Like, do I care about this shit? Yeah, kinda, but like, I care way more about the fact that I have to eat ramen every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so.
And this is all after pharmaceutical companies made billions of dollars forcing injections. The food companies are not feeding us healthy food for the last fucking years. Fucking the banks have been making interest on loans off of money from fractional reserve lending for fucking ever. The IRS is raping anybody who decides they don't want to pay a couple extra dollars on their taxes. And then you have politicians being rapists in the Epstein files. And then you have potential war with all. It's like a constant
barrage,
full
right?
on assault on every front. You know what I mean? Like your health, your wealth, your wellness, your mental being. Plus, we have AI taking people's jobs. Got all these billionaires telling you you're not going to work in fucking 5-10 years.
Everything that our previous company used to stand for is what they attack, bro. Health, wealth, freedom, and happiness.
Actually, you know what? I totally forgot to bring this up and put it in the show notes, and it's something I really want to talk about. So you're bringing all this stuff up, Deezy, and I think we might need to find this clip on the fly here. I think something that speaks to this kind of nihilism or this jadedness or whatever you want to call it is the interview that Michael Knowles did with Clavicular last week. And there's a clip that we can find it. There's a clip that so for anybody who doesn't know, Clavicular, from what I understand, he's a 19-year-old kid. I mean, he looks like a, you know, he basically is advocating for this idea of Looksmaxxing. So he moved to Miami and he got all this like crazy plastic surgery, like on his face. He got his legs broke and did this, you know, this new surgery where he can like add, you know, 6 inches to you so you can be 6 foot, whatever. He apparently, from what he says, he takes low dose methamphetamine to be able to maintain his figure. And he basically advocates for the idea of like, hey, listen, politics, all this stuff, nah, I don't care. I'm just going to focus on me. I'm going to get as good looking as I can, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do and just focus on whatever it is I want to do right now because there is no future.
Are you talking about the clip where he's talking about politicians under delivering and stuff?
Yeah. There's one about like, you know, Michael Knowles is, you know, caring about trans, and then there's one where he talks about how he thinks JD Vance is. Yeah, let's just see.
Or total nonsense.
I don't really think that right-wingers should just give support to these jesters who continue to underdeliver on their promises. Just let the Democrats win.
So you're saying they shouldn't vote for any Republican? The right-wingers should not vote for the Republican?
Not until the right actually wants to do the things that they're promising.
It's kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying if you're a real hardcore Giga Chad right-winger, you should let the Democrats rip your country.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, that's the accelerationist mentality. Because, like, look, what is the right going to do other than just like a small win here? Maybe you overturn Roe v. Wade on like a federal level, but abortion is still allowed.
Maybe you deport 2 million people. Maybe
okay, but there's still 28 million more.
Had a Democrat won, you would add 3 million illegal aliens to the country. Because Trump won, not only do you not add 3 million, you lose 2 million. So now you have a net change of 5 million potential foreigners who would be in the United States over the course of 1 year. And you're saying, yeah, it's not good enough. Sorry, bro.
It's not. It really.
There's that clip. There's also another one. Yeah, maybe I'll put it in the show notes or whatever. But yeah, there's one where he talks about Michael Knowles' obsession with the trans thing, which is pretty hilarious. Compared to, yeah, it might be. Actually, can you scroll down 1 sec, Fresh? I think it was there. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, sorry, this is totally came up out of nowhere, but yeah, I mean, for anybody who hasn't seen the interview, I really, really recommend watching the interview. I think it's such a. I finally feel like I've arrived at a place where I really am of a different generation.
I just don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to just advocate for your average person to only concern themselves with their own.
To me, that's the big cope. I agree with many of the observations you're making about the society, but the big cope, you heard this with like the libs when they were trying to push the trans stuff and they were upset that some of us were pushing against it. And they said, how does this affect you? You know, you're walking out, it's basically your society is Sodom and Gomorrah. And they say, well, how does it affect you if I decide I want to like castrate little kids in the school and redefine marriage and slaughter babies and sacrifice them to Moloch? And how does that affect you? You just mind your own business. And I think, how about I don't mind my own business? How about my business is my community, and I have a right to enforce standards and norms that are good and traditional and conducive to flourishing. And how about you mind your own business?
But the problem is, you see what you just did there is you spiked your cortisol thinking about transgenders.
Will that max anything on me?
No, that's a very catabolic hormone. So if you're advocating for people to, go around and, concern themselves with these issues, or go to, like school, like board conferences and be outspoken about this, that's just largely going to be unproductive. And, it might seem like a doomer mentality, or you're just going to let society go to it's like on an individual level, it's not going to be productive.
But on a political, right. Well, look, it's been productive in as much as, at least the trans thing, there's so many other problems.
Well, the way
at least the trans things, though, we've kind of won on that.
Well, the way that I see trannies is that's one more person to mug once they brutally butcher themselves transitioning.
But is it, I see that.
Go descend yourself. That's fine with me.
Because you're ascending yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to ascend, and this person is going to be a comical botch job, So that just seems very logical to me. Go be a tranny. Now I mog you to death.
Now isn't.
I mean.
So now I mog you.
I mean, regardless of what he's saying, I feel like this is the first time I personally am I really am not of whatever's, as you get older, you're you kind of know, okay, I'm not of a younger generation. I'm getting older now. But I think this new nihilism that's kicking in, which actually logically kind of makes sense to me. It's all right, I saw this other video, man, this is all coming up now, but I saw this other video about this chick talking about, it was in the context of music, and she was basically all this shit is over. AI is going to come in and it's going to do all this stuff better than you. So what do you have to all these ideas of I'm going to do this, I'm going to prepare for the future, and I'm going to do da 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 da, right? To get to here at this time in the future, in a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, all this shit we've been told for the last 5 years, especially red pill guys and all this shit, da da da. And she's you have no fucking idea what is even going to be a thing. That job you have right now that you're working on a career to do, that job may not exist at all
in 5 years. And if it does, it's probably not going to be human.
And it's not going to be human.
What's up,
So why are you spending this time now? And again, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but I understand the thinking. It's
well, there has to be there's a truth to it. And there has to be a way to combat or figure out what you're supposed to do rather than getting caught up in this, because it is going to happen. So it's not you don't have to treat it like a doomer thing. You just because it's true.
Right.
This is not it's not this is a prediction. We're not we're predicting this. We know this is going to happen. This is just natural progression. This is where we're going to end up. So it's actually figuring out what the solution is to this, right?
Right.
And that is to, I guess, be more human.
I mean, that, but also, I guess my question is the future not about the future? And in a weird way, it might be a good thing. It's you got to think about now, always, constantly, and adjust and adjust and adjust. There is no, because of the rate and the speed.
That's regression, in my opinion. I know that you're saying because how fast things are growing, but the truth of it is that if we can never actually adapt to what's going on, then we're not even really living in it.
Right.
So that's regression, because then you're not actually living or experiencing any of it.
Or you're just living for the moment, which is not, I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Well, I mean, if it's a good thing, it's a good thing if the moment is a quote unquote good thing.
Sure.
But how are we even going to guide it into that?
I think you should be living in the moment, but you should still have an idea of the future. And
bro, because how do you guide it?
future should kind of guide the way you act in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you live in the moment, but you keep your eye on the prize. And so it's like if you just live in the moment forever, you're never gonna get to wherever you thought you were gonna go. Or if you just don't have those thoughts, and maybe you're just free fucking willing it all the way through. But you can't just live life willy-nilly. Every day's a new day. Let's see what today has in store. Like, most people are scheduled out. Look how hard it is to book an interview with the Goat Show.
I mean, I guess what I am kind of saying is it just it brings up an interesting point. I don't know if I really have an answer for it, but everything else is moving in a faster cycle, right? Like, it used to be every week you had like the new album on a Friday, and you would go to the record store and you would wait in line, and then they would let you in, and then you buy the CD, and then you tear the thing, and then you would, you know what I'm saying? And then the internet comes, and now it's just a free for all. Fucking music's like insane. It's like 24/7. There's new music. There's, you know what I'm saying? And we've kind of adapted.
There's not even a best day to drop anymore.
Right. I mean, Spotify has their day. They still have Fridays, but I don't know if they'll even keep that in the future. Why?
It doesn't make it. It doesn't make it the best day to drop. It's just a thing they have.
It's just a thing.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to abide by it. You don't have to care about it. And most artists don't. The biggest artists don't. Nobody really does. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right. Right. I guess what I'm saying though is that in art and music, we've kind of like adjusted to that, but that's now coming to life.
It's kind of killed it, bro. It's kind of killed a lot of it. It's kind of killed a lot of the soul, right? Like, there used to be more tact behind music. People used to have to care.
Right. But I mean,
it's like getting fucking half cotton, half polyester from fucking Temu.
I agree 100% with you, but that's the same thing that's happened with like the analogy here with the Epstein files. Epstein files, that was last week. And the fact that we even had a week with the Epstein files is kind of like, that's pushing it. Like, maybe it wasn't even a week. It was like 3 days. And now we got Somali shit. That's going to be we got a week out of this one. By next week, we're not even going to remember that there were Somali scams and $18 billion that were stolen. Like, it won't even register in our brains anymore. Like what happened 2 weeks ago? I can't even remember what happened 2 weeks ago.
Well, the thing about it is things have to progressively get worse, though. Like, it can't just be like not as bad of things, right? Mm-hmm. So as things like Epstein files, who knows where that is on the fucking parabola? It's probably high. And then now you got billions of dollars going to fucking whatever. And then I think that the next thing to distract and the next thing and the next thing is going to get progressively worse till it's war or worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like the next thing's just going to be some bullshit. It's
already wars, bro. Wars have been mixed in there. None of this shit matters, man. It's all that, bro. It's just the Truman Show. None of it fucking matters. Next week it'll be a whole other season or a whole nother episode of something else that they'll distract us with, and like,
except for the people that is the end of their Truman Show. Bro, because
you never heard the guy from China, bro. He's like, the one thing that surprises me the most about the West is that you guys still watch the news, because in China we don't watch the news because we know it's propaganda. So they're just trying to control your mind, and like, that is the West. They give a fuck about what's on that little box and whatever the little box. And now the box is in your hand. It's not like you have to go sit down at 6 and watch the box.
You hear that? The box all day. The only propaganda you should be watching is the Goat Show. No other propaganda.
Get your news from us. If we don't say it, you don't need it. And you probably don't need half the shit we do say.
I mean, dudes, we went through how many years of COVID? I don't even remember that COVID
right now. Motherfuckers are wearing masks still right now. I don't even think about this thing.
People don't even, like, everybody's like, I'm poor. It's like, do you not remember that there's this thing called COVID where they shut down businesses across the country, and they gave you each of us $2,000 in stimmies
and said, suck it up.
Suck it up. And now nobody like everybody's like, I'm so poor. Why can't I afford anything? It's like, and they don't make the connection at all. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and then I get the nihilism. I get what Clavicular is kind of saying in a way. I'm kind of like, all right, if people are just going to kind of like be zombies through this thing, and somebody saying tax, it's tax strike, and they don't think it through, and they're like, no, doing a tax strike, like they're going to build the tools to be able to go after people, and they're just going to figure out sneaky ways to get whatever. They don't even have to fucking arrest you. They'll just pass a law. Congress does whatever it wants. They'll just pass a law saying they can just confiscate whatever. I mean, it's going to be communism. They'll just confiscate whatever they want if you don't pay your taxes. They'll raise the tax on your, or I mean, the only thing I guess you could say would be like your home. If you even own a home, nobody owns a home.
So, bro, that shit's already long gone, brother. There's like 1% of people that buy property. The other 99% of properties that are being bought by like the CCP, Bill Gates,
dude, BlackRock, and fucking corporations. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, bro, people, humans, individuals, families are not buying shit. Bro, they're deciding if they can pay rent or buy ramen. Like, oh, can I buy a little case of ramen? Or, oh shit, I can't this week. I can't spend that $15 because I got to pay rent. Like, they're not able to buy homes. Nobody's like saving money, buying cars, buying homes. Everybody's cooked.
I mean,
gas just made it under $3 like last week.
Gas for what?
Car.
Gas for what? They don't have a car anymore. They don't even own that shit no more. People can't even buy those.
I mean, this whole thing with Elon, this is where I go back and forth on Elon all the time. I'm like, he's building all the tools of the New World Order. Like a Tesla being able to run without a driver and drive people around, that's basically going to be, you're not going to own a car anymore. You're just going to rent or pay a fee for Tesla to take you wherever you want to go.
Yes. Because why would you own a car? First of all, you can't. But second of all, you don't need to. When it's time to go, you just whistle. A fucking robo taxi pulls up. What's up? Yeah, let's go. Meow, gone.
Yeah. And if you decide not to pay your taxes, no more robo taxi for you.
No taxis, no taxis, bitch.
Yeah.
What's up?
I mean, everything that we did not want to happen, which is this world of fucking, what do you call it? The WEF world, World Economic World. You'll own nothing and be happy.
15-minute city ass world, bro.
You'll own nothing and be happy. That was the whole thing. They've implemented it.
Of course they did. They've been
Except
doing
you're
it
not
all
happy.
time.
It's like North Korea. You got to smile, otherwise you're fucking.
Well, but here's the thing, bro. This is the crazy part. Is people like us are like dwindling. This is like you're saying. People don't give a fuck about the Epstein files. People don't give a fuck about nothing. They're slowly breaking everybody's spirit. And then when they give them 15 cents, everybody's like, yeah, love you, government. Thank you. Thank you for the fucking Soylent Green paste.
Dude, Zora Mamdani straight up today gave a speech and said, we need to end. What did he say? We might need to find that clip. He straight up was like, we need to, end the means of production, like straight up communism. I mean, I was like shocked. This motherfucker a real ass communist. I gotta give him credit. I'm like, he ain't even doing this WEF pretend, you'll own nothing, be happy.
No, he's commie.
He's straight up.
It's like welcome back to the USSR V2. Like,
I don't know, man.
Really just out his mind.
But then again, I'm
like,
like,
all out their fucking noodle. This is the problem, bro.
But then again, I mean, UBI and that whole concept.
What? It's horrible. It's a retarded system. Like, people think they want it. It doesn't work, bro. Like,
how does that work? There's no one that can actually explain how would that work.
Did none of your fucking teachers do this test with you guys in school, bro? Like, they did the commie test, right? Where you come in and all your grades are shared, right? And it's an average of all the grades. And the first week, everybody gets a D. And in week 2, everybody fails because nobody wants to do shit.
Right.
It's the same fucking thing that's happened in our system, where now people don't want to do shit. Everybody who does shit does it because they fucking have to, because there's no fucking choice. Somebody's got to fucking do it. And everything's done half-assed and like shit, and no pride, no nothing. I mean, pride is fucking gay pride.
I mean, so here, this is something I was thinking about over the weekend. So it's like, okay, you implement AI, implement the robots. And Elon's saying, hey, at that point, you may not, there won't even be money. That's what he's saying. He's saying there won't even be money. The only exchange of value will be energy.
Yeah, you know why there won't be money? You know why there won't be money? Because when you're not the worker anymore, they don't have to give you entertainment.
Okay.
Money is about entertainment, about keeping the workers happy. When you're not the worker bee, figure it the fuck out. We don't give a fuck about you. We got our robots.
Well, I mean,
the biggest thing about that is that everything will die without people stimulating the economy. And that's why universal basic income is even an idea. They need people to spend money on the businesses and everything that all of the shit that we built over the years and years. If all of a sudden people are not spending money because they don't have it, then it ends it all. So what I'm saying is we're either going to have a huge reset coming soon, which makes sense because silver went to almost fucking $80 an ounce, which is insane. I sold almost all my silver pretty much at like $35 an ounce. So holy shit that it made a crazy run. Bro, the money system is about to fucking reset. Something big is going to happen where all of the news that's come out so far doesn't really matter because there really is more pressing issues. I think that has to happen. There's no way out. There's no way out for the United States to pay this debt off. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no, the can has been kicked down a hill and we are at the bottom of the hill now. There's no momentum. So no, you can kick that can, but it's right there no matter how hard you really kick it. So
yeah, I don't know, man. Kind of went on a little tangent here, but I mean, you know, a good example. I mean, a good example of this is like this whole thing's going down, all this shit's happening, and like the news is reporting about another trip from Netanyahu to the White House.
For what, bro?
For what? Like, why is this motherfucker always in the White House? Like, and then we're sending more money there. Trump's out here saber rattling Iran again. I thought we solved this Iran problem. It's a little weird. Then we solved this thing. We bombed a little bomb, and then it's all good in the hood. I mean, what is this shit?
Is this my biggest question is this post about like protesters within their own country of Iran?
I think so, yeah.
I mean,
the United States will come to their rescue.
All right. Well,
like, who gives a fuck about an Iranian, man? What's going on with our people?
Like, bro, again, I'm not saying I don't care about anybody else. What I'm saying is we can't help you. We just can't help you. Like, we can't help ourselves right now. Can't help you. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's have
maybe in 5 years.
Have the same fucking heroism about our own people.
Yeah.
Like
it's like, oh, like we gotta go out there to look good. Fuck looking good. Motherfuckers can't eat, bro.
I see. This is why I think.
What are we talking about?
I think this is by design, man. This is a control collapse of America. And I think, you know, I mean, hey, I mean, who else can you point to? Israel's got their hands all over this stuff. Like, why are we? It just boggles my mind. It's really mind-boggling, actually, that a small group of people can fucking keep this entire country on its knees. That's why I'm like, I'm not going to vote anymore. Like, fuck all y'all, man. No more voting. Fine, let the communists take it. I'm almost like, okay, which master do we serve? It's like, it's mind-boggling to me. But it's not if you're like, hey, you know, yeah, we want to subjugate America to another foreign country. Like, we have been taken over. And I gotta give him credit, man. It's pretty damn sly. Like, it's good. Like, I mean, not good. I'm saying
they did a good job.
To the victor go the spoils, man. Hey, That mafia figured out what the fuck to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of it's probably the Epstein list, and that's why all this is happening.
Sure. But if nobody really gives a fuck about the Epstein list, I mean, it's getting to a point for me. I'm like, I think about this. I'm like, how much do I really care about it? I already know these motherfuckers shady. I already know these people are evil.
Bro, we're
I mean, what can we even do? I'm already not going to vote.
I don't need to see the list. Like, I don't need to see it. I'm not saying that because I don't care who's on it. I know who's on it already. Every single one of you faggots. I just don't I don't care. The fact that we haven't seen it already, just every one of you guys is on it, and I just don't care. You guys are all faggots. You guys are all pedos. I don't fuck with none of you. That's just it. That's it.
Or you're protecting.
Or you're protecting, bro. Again, if you're protecting one, you are one. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, and like people talk about Elon, but I'm like, dude, Elon, you knew about this shit, and you're still willing to play ball because you thought you would get what you wanted. You only dropped this information once you didn't get what you wanted or whatever. You're getting pushed out of Doge, which, okay, maybe you're playing ball. You're like, okay, we got to save the Republic. What do I pick? I got to deal with these freaking sickos anyway. Might as well try and clean up the government. But
no, I don't eat. You're not supposed to eat with Nazis. Right or wrong? If you sit at a table with a Nazi, you're a Nazi, right? Isn't that what we've been told our whole lives? Like, if there's 12, if there's 11 Nazis at a table and you're eating at it, you're the 12th Nazi.
Right. But I guess the question then becomes, well,
friends walk into a gas station and your two other friends decide they're going to rob it. You don't think you're getting arrested?
Not just arrested. Not just arrested. You're going to jail.
Right.
You will be charged with your friends. You will go to jail. Yeah, absolutely. Like you're part of it. If you just sit there next to them, you're a part of it. So replace Nazi with pedo, you fucking creeps. Like,
I mean, and this is where I'm like, there's just this part of me that's like, I don't think I can bring myself to do this because I just can't. But I understand probably a lot of these big business guys. Something Ayn Rand talks about in Atlas Shrugged, right? Like, they're like, look, they love producing and making dope shit so much, and they want to keep doing it. Like fucking Reardon. And for anybody hasn't read Atlas Shrugged, Reardon was an industrialist in the book, and he made this thing called Reardon Steel. It was like the best steel ever made.
Put up with these pedos because they want to. Bro, I get it
because he loves making.
Does it truly push us forward though? Because this is the thing, right? Is everybody that all these major players that just put up with it to for the greater good, whatever, let them do it. We're at the point now where everything's run by pedos. That wasn't the move. You guys are supposed to off them.
Yeah, if you're in a
and kill them.
If you're in a position to make a difference and it's against the agenda, you'll get shot in the neck like Charlie Kirk.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
what happened to kill your local pedophile?
In a way, I'm kind of like, all right, let's say you're Elon. You want to build these fucking space things. You want to build these robots. You want to build badass.
And what? Bring them with you?
Well, it's that or get Charlie Kirk. It's like, it's easy for us to say, but I'd have to think hard. I'd be like, fuck. Either I go Galt and I become the enemy of the state and I don't get to build all this. That's why John Galt's the hero of that book. He's a guy that, spoiler alert for Atlas Shrugged, he's a guy who was a badass super industrialist maniac. And he was like, you know what? I'm not going to give these guys anything of my talent, anything of my productivity, anything of my badassery. I'm going to go Galt. I'm going to go underground. I'm going to live as a freaking bum on the street, basically. And then when the time's right, I'm going to collect all these super badasses, and we're just going to get the hell out of here. We're going to go to Galt's Gulch and build our own shit. And I have a feeling that maybe that's an Elon thing. He's kind of like, we need to go to space. We need to go to space. We need to go to space. And then at some point he's like, all right, we can go to space and settle Mars. Let me collect up all the people that are that I know are dope. Get the fuck out of here. There's part of me that thinks that maybe that's what's going on. Because that's the only choice. What other choice do you have?
I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm not saying it couldn't be a thing, because it could. It very well could be a thing. I don't give none of these motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt anymore.
If
Files didn't
it,
come out in full. None of the bro.
he
Everybody's been sitting in silence.
tweeted that
He
Donald Trump's
knows
in the
who it is.
files, and the truth's gonna come out. He tweeted that, and if he knew that, then he must have known more. And for him to stand by and not do anything or say anything or post anything about who he knows are in those files, he's guilty too. And for him to come back with a black eye after everything, and
forgot about that. I got lost in the cycle, huh? I don't know, man.
you know, it's hard to deny conspiracies when they keep repeating. You know what I mean? When it's like a repetitive thing in a specific situation, you're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I said, bro, I'm sick of these fucking pedos and faggots. They're all fucking doing it. I don't believe none of them.
I hate to be so doomer on the show, but this is the Ghost Show. The show that celebrates greatness. And it's like, are we living in a future where you cannot be great? Or if you are great,
bro, what the fuck are we gonna celebrate? Welcome to the Ghost Show, where we celebrate everything that used to be great. Motherfuckers, bro.
the level of greatness is just going to go down along with the rest of society. That's all we got.
It's fucking crazy, bro. I'm telling you, we're gonna come on here and we're gonna start talking about like Aristotle, Plato, Jesus. Like,
I mean, not that we know already.
I know, but it's gonna be solely things from the past, because ain't nothing great gonna be happening soon.
It's so funny. One thing I always think about is like people used to say it like back in the day when I say, oh yeah, like when I was more enthusiastic, I was telling people about Ayn Rand stuff. They'd be like, oh, well, her books are so childish. Her books are the villains in her books are so cartoony. Like and it's so funny because like I see the thing like Zorn Mamdani today, like just straight up being like straight up communist shit in his speech. And I'm like, that's a Randian villain, like right there in front of your face. And the other thing, here's the thing that a lot of people don't talk about in that book. I don't get off my high horse on that book, but like in the book, a lot of what she rails against is apathy. People don't really remember this about Atlas Shrugged. They remember like the super productive heroes and these like cartoony villains or whatever, quote unquote cartoony villains. But what she really rails against in the book, and a lot of people were unsympathetic to her because she rails against it so hard, is that there are these characters that seemingly seem like normal people. They seem like normal people, and she really like describes them in an ugly way, a very cutting way, because of their apathy. And people are like, oh, she's so unsympathetic. She's so mean to these people that are just normal people that are just trying to live in the world. And it's like, well, shit, dude. When I see someone like Clavicular go on his thing and say, whatever, I'm just going to Looksmaxx and get whatever I can while I can get it. And that's just the way of the world. Dude, he is a character in a different way from Atlas Shrugged. Like one of the villains that she sees in the book. He is that character. And then speaking about society as a whole, just accepting, whatever it is as being the way things are, it's like, it's sad, but it's also fascinating to watch. And I'm just like, man, like, and I'm kind of that villain. I got to be honest. There are days where I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to look at any of my Twitter shit. I'm just going to fucking, I don't know, watch videos about Ableton.
Listen, bro, that's what I fucking get into, right? I get into like,
sure, yeah,
the Bible and the Holy Fathers and like prayers and hesychasm, like, because, bro, the world is bleak right now. The world is like, what you spend too much time on like what's going on in the actual world that you can't like do anything about. And again, like I've said this a bunch of times recently, it's Plato's dramatic theater, right? It's people you don't know and things you shouldn't care about taking up that space in your life for the people you do know and should care about. And then so you don't give a shit about like your neighbor, your mother, your spouse, your kid, because you care about what's happening 6,000 miles away from you in some fucking town in Minnesota. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's kind of what the point that I mean, it's kind of a catch-22, right? It's like on the one hand, it shouldn't be an either or. It should be like, okay, I got the people that are close to me that I care about, and I care about them. And then yes, like I mean, I kind of agree with Michael Knowles. Then you got bigger issues in society that you should care about because you're going to live in that society. If you have kids, you know, anybody's going to have.
But what are the bigger issues? Like this is the thing is what we're treating as bigger issues, right? So like right now we're like, oh, this Minnesota thing so big issue. No, that's a Minnesota problem. That's a Minnesota.
Maybe. I mean, I think maybe it's on a national level.
Maybe it's happening on a national level. Then it's each place that it's happening, and it's a local level. It's a local problem. It's maybe an immigration problem nationally.
Could you? I feel like you could argue though that it's a mentality problem. Like it's a brain rot of some kind, a societal rot. Which is the attitude of just plunder, which when most empires are falling.
But this comes down to what you were saying about worrying about now. That's when plunder's a lot to happen because we're not worried about next week, next month, next year. We're worried about now. And so we allow everybody in, plunder our storerooms, and then next month we don't have nothing to eat. When it's winter and there's whatever, we're all cooked. It's been a problem. Look, I mean, I'm not trying to point no fingers, but it's been a problem. It was a problem in society when we all were sub 80 IQ, right? And it continues to be a problem in society where people are sub 80 IQ. If we continue to import sub 80 IQ and foster a sub 80 IQ society, we will continue to have these problems that we have not been having for the last 100+ years, at least. So, I mean, I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm not trying to say whatever. I'm just saying there seems to be a correlation between bringing in low IQ people and then having low IQ problems.
When you allow people to be uncivilized, and it makes civilized people uncivilized.
Like you have to remember when the king goes to playing shit with the jesters and with the pigs, the king becomes a pig. The king becomes a jester. The jesters don't become kings.
Damn. Some bars right there. I guess with an attempt to maybe have a silver lining, I mean, something Clavicular talks about is accelerationism. Like, is it just that we need to hit an acceleration point and it's going to be basically the moment of truth? It's either people are going to go, I don't care what happens.
You want to know why we can't hit that?
What's
For exactly what I'm saying to you. That point takes a growth in average IQ day over year. It like forever, eternally moving forward, right? And if we bring in people who degrade society and degrade the overall intelligence of the masses, then we're never going to get to a point where the masses are more intelligent so that we can actually truly progress. Because that's what happens, right? Is that everybody gets generally smarter and cleaner, and then you get healthier, and then you live longer, and things are better, right? And so, like, again, if we keep degrading the mental state of our society, then that's not going to grow. That's never going to get better. It's just not going to happen. It's just impossible. Like you can't derive the one thing from the other. Like if you don't have the intelligence, then you can't get the better society.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with what you're saying in the sense that there has to be, like, you can, that old saying that it's harder to teach a smart dog new tricks than a dumb dog, right? Because a dumb dog, they just do what you say. It's the smart dogs that are harder to teach because it's like they don't want to do what you say. They're you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's people in general. So I'm not always on the mindset of the IQ thing for that reason. I think there's a lot of smart people make really stupid decisions. You know,
sure, but generally, you have to have, like, say for example, to be in middle management, it is like rule of thumb. You need 100 plus IQ, right? It's not like, sure, these 100 plus IQ people may make stupid mistakes at times, but like that level of intelligence is needed to be able to operate at that level in society.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And so again, if we want that the level in which we operate to increase, then we need more people to operate at that level. Like I understand what you're saying, but and like I'm also not really for the keep them dumb so they do what we say. Like I don't think that that's generally how we make a better society. That may be how we make a more convenient, stupid society who is quote unquote happy and owns nothing.
Sure. Sure.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I don't think that that's how you make a great society. Like I think a great society means that we grow in all of these ways. And again, in order to grow where like everybody can operate in middle management, that means we need everybody's IQ for the most part to be above 100.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that on some level. I do. I just feel like that, I guess my concern with that, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm just saying that, I don't know. There's a challenge with, and again, I'm not saying that we should bring in more people that blow IQ. What I'm saying is that that's the sort of thinking that scares me, because a lot of the people that are instituting all this shit right now would say like that's what needs to happen, but they do it in like a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Like they're purposely trying to, rot out.
Yeah, like again, now by saying what I'm saying, there's two options, right? There's we figure out how to assimilate and grow society's IQ, right?
Right.
Or the fucking Hunger Games like mentality where it's like, okay, well then we need to kill more stupid people so the IQ raises. Right? Like
which I think a lot of these super rich, smart, whatever dudes, geniuses probably feel that way. Yeah.
They're just like, fuck it. Let the dummies eat each other, bro. Like, don't care. Just cut them off.
I really think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
And this is why we don't get the growth in people, right? Because it's not what's generally wanted. Because these really, really smart people, they want more dummies to work for them, to work under them, to listen to what they're saying. Right. So that's what we're going to foster as a society. What the bosses of all of our companies that pay all of our bills want. Right. So we're not going to get why aren't we just helping the people in like war-torn countries to learn how to read at an earlier age? Or like, why are we not teaching that? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't generally care about that as a society. I care about that. That's why I'm talking about it. But generally, people don't give a fuck. People don't want to teach you to be better. They just expect you're either going to be better or go die somewhere. Like,
right. Damn. Lots to think about there. Well, I don't mean to end the show on a doomer note. I don't know if there's a silver lining in all this. I'm still trying to find one, but unfortunately,
the silver lining is we're still alive, baby. So you got now, today, tomorrow, and the future to make the best decisions for you. And that's kind of the best move.
Listen, everybody, you got Looksmaxx.
Life and love finds a way, man. It'll all be okay in the end.
Just Looksmaxx. Add a couple inches to your height. Get those dimples. I got them already, so I'm good on that side. Take a little meth, takes the edge off, get slimmer, and everything will be okay.
Meth, bro. They're bombing.
The guy says he does low dose methamphetamine.
Little bit of meth here, a little bit of meth there.